intended to stay here that long. I had aspirations to do other things. But as I began to learn more and more about the school and got to get closer and closer with the teachers, the staff here in Delta, and I began to see what this school really does for kids, I just couldn't believe it. Most everything I say is going to apply to all grade levels, but a lot of it just specifically to the 9th grade. Things change a little bit once you get into the 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So I'm going to start by just kind of highlighting a few things about Middle College High School. We are part of Lodi Unified School District, so we abide by all of their graduation requirements. We're a full public school. We do accept inter-district transfers. So every year I have a group of kids who come a lot of times from Manteca, a certain amount from Lincoln. But you do need to be aware that Stockton Unified will not sign inter-district transfers to attend this school. So if you live in Stockton, it's not us in Stockton, okay? But any of the other surrounding districts all will sign inter-districts to attend here. And there's a lot of reasons why students and parents want to come to this school, but we do have a reputation for being a very safe school. So we've had no expulsions, very few suspensions. I've been here 9 years now. I've never broken a fight. It's just not our culture. You know, kids are still kids. They're kind of mouthy and this and that. And there's not the level of kind of viciousness amongst the kids that you sometimes see at a more traditional site. When the chips are down, they're a little more supportive of each other. So, and it's rather funny when you think about it because we're a very, very safe school on the largest campus in Stockton. But it does work that way. Now I'm going to kind of talk about a typical freshman day. So a typical freshman day starts with ASC in the morning, and that stands for Academic Success Center, aka Giant Study Hall. Many, many years ago, we realized our freshmen needed a more structured day, a more structured program than our upperclassmen, as they kind of move to this rather unique school. Not only are they coming from 8th grade, but they're coming to 8th grade, into 9th grade, into high school, and into college. So it's a more structured program. And basically during that ASC time, they check in and they check out to go to college class and back in. And that's how it kind of works. Because in the morning, our students are in college courses. So every kid kind of has a unique morning schedule. But once it becomes 12:30, we become more like a traditional high school. All right? And we're also on an A-B schedule, meaning the very first day of the year is A day, the next is B day. And so we offer 3 periods each day. So 2 of our days equals 1 day at comprehensive high school. All right, so it's a little bit different that way too. So 9th grade students here in Middle College High School, there's no electives. Your real electives come at the college level, not within the high school program. So every 9th grader is in English 9, biology, Avid 9, and I'll talk about Avid in a moment too, and math, whether that be some might go into geometry. However, there's about to be a move to Common Core, and so the math sequence has not quite been set in stone at Lodi yet. But everyone will be appropriate math course. They'll be in physical education, and they'll be in 1 college core class. That's kind of how a 9th grade schedule looks like. And you look at this and you think that this is Monday, and your child comes to school on Monday. At 9:30, they're going to go to ASC. Okay, and that's where they're going to be till 11:30. Okay, then there's going to be a break from 11:30 to 12:30, and that's where most of our kids have lunch. But it isn't even lunch like you're used to in your middle schools or elementary schools. It's brought into us from Bear Creek. students get it. They can go to Danner. Some kids bring their own lunch. Some kids buy their lunch here at the college. But we're totally part of the free and reduced lunch program. And so we do have that all set up. But I'm going to tell you, some of our kids might be eating it right at 11:30. Some might have a class, and maybe they're not going to eat till noon. Some of our kids even eat on their free period. So lunch is very different. We have no bells here at Denham College High School either. So bells don't exist here. So they do this ASC in the morning as a 9th grade student. Now comes 12:30. Now it's high school time. Now you're going to think of this just like you would any old high school. So between the hours of 12:30 and 1:25, your child might be in English 9. Then, period 3A happens from 2 to 3:15, and they might be in Avid 9. And then finally, the last period of the day, from 3:25 to 4:40 is PE. Their day is done, you get to come and pick them up, take them home. All right? Now they come to school the next day, and it's Tuesday. Once again, 9:30, they're in ASC. Are y'all with me? Now, once again, it's 12:30. It's now period what we call 2B. They're in biology. Then, 3B is their free period. And we're going to talk about this in just one moment, too. And then finally, 4B, same time frame, they're in mathematics, they're appropriate math course. All right? So, okay with me, you've kind of following? So those 2 days now equal 1 day at a comprehensive high school. They come to school on Wednesday, and do y'all see they're going to be in these classes? Okay? They come to school on Thursday, and what classes will they start with? Biology. Okay? They come to school on Friday, and they would be in this one. Okay, now, think about it. Now they come to school, they get to stay home on the weekend and drive you crazy. Now they come back to school on Monday. Where are they going on period 2? Yes, they're going back here to biology. But what I mean is our AVs are not dependent on the day of the week. Okay, and that takes a little more us adults, it takes more kind of adjusting for us than the kids they get. So that's what I say we're on an A and B schedule. And now I'm going to stop 1 minute. I'm going to put the screen down and I'm going to talk about 2 things. Avid and free period. Okay? So, we are an Avid school. All students are in Avid all 4 years. If you choose to come to Middle College High School, you choose to be in Avid. That's simple. Avid is where we give them in the 9th grade a lot of organizational skills, study skills, Socratic seminars, tutorials, things like that. Orange binders are creative, trench binders, things like that. And then it kind of progresses each academic year. In the 11th grade, it really shifts a lot of focus to scholarships and looking at colleges. In the 12th grade is much more about personal statements and getting ready to apply to college. All grades level do a certain amount of SAT and ACT kind of test prep to get ready. And I should say we give all of our kids their PSAT. So we pay for all of our kids to take the PSAT both in the 10th and the 11th grade. All right? So we're an Avid school. And the other very, very, very important thing is the free period. So every student has a free block of time every other day. But we do not babysit students here. Okay? We do not do that. We're trying to teach kids how to be successful college students. And to be a successful college student, they've got to learn how to manage their time. They need to learn how to prioritize. They need to learn how to take care of business first and fun second. And my kids do this in a pretty good balancing act, you know? And they're very good about kind of clustering themselves and studying together. They're still enjoying themselves the way you should. And I can tell you that they do very well. We get very solid results. And we'll deal with that in a little bit your child and give it to us, and we really honor that. And we don't make an issue out of cell phones. So if you wanted to get a hold of your kid during their free period, text them. You know, we just say in the classroom you turn it off. And we have very, very few kind of issues with cell phones or anything like that. So that's kind of the compromise on that free period. But that's an important thing to think about because it's different. You're not going to have that at a comprehensive site quite the same way. But I think it's important that you hear from a student, because no matter what I have to say is my perspective, but it's important to hear a student's perspective because we're very much like a family. Now I'm going to tell you, Flor has been doing these with me now that she's a senior. She started in the 9th grade doing these presentations with me because I did not always do these presentations. But as we got more and more popular and we were receiving more and more applications, I had just received too many requests to have one-on-one meetings in the spring. I couldn't do it. It's all I would have done all spring long. So this was my mechanism to reach, a lot of people in a time-effective way. And so Flor came along not only to present, but also to be my interpreter because she's fluent in Spanish. But I've had the opportunity to see the young lady grow and to give these presentations. And last year I just was floating on a cloud. I could not have asked for a better presentation, no pressure. But it's been very, very enjoyable to watch her grow, So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Flor.
Everyone today, my name is Flor Harris. I'm a senior here at Cowgirl College High School, and as she explained, I've been doing these presentations for 4 years now. So I guess I'll begin by talking about the teachers, my experience here. The teachers here aren't only teachers. They don't come into our classrooms and just talk about the material and give, here's your homework, open a textbook, your textbook to page 52 and read those sections. They really like to connect with students and lead this textbook. They like to connect to the real world. And unlike other high schools where there might be 3 teachers for one subject, there's only 6 teachers here at CHS, so every teacher knows their student pretty well. And like I was saying, they're more than teachers. They're also our counselors. If we ever have individual problems, they're our friends, really, and almost like second parents to us. And you can't, like, I've had instances in class where I've gone into class, distressed or sad, emotional, or just with problems on my mind, and after class, they know that something's wrong with their students. They talk to them, kind of give them counseling. As far as it comes to our students here, we don't have to worry about bullying or anything. Everyone here is there's such diversity here with ethnicity, races, everyone's really accepting of everyone for who they are and what they are. I remember freshman year, I came by and 105 is usually the area where we hang out. And in one table, we had about, I saw about 6 different races watching a video on Indian dancing. So it was really nice to see, coming from a small charter school, diversity and that everyone accepting different cultures. When it comes to professors here, when students, they don't know the difference between middle college students and actual college students, so they view us as a college student. They don't see any different when it comes to missing classes. They're not going to ask you, why are you in the class, like our high school teacher, because they kind of expect you to know what you're doing. You're an adult in your class, so behavior in your classes are always, that has to be proper. That's all to parents now. Parents, the first and second year are going to be difficult, not only for your student, but for yourself as well. You're going to watch kids come back home, maybe in tears, or just really distressed or yelling at their homework because they have so much homework. stuff, they're going to be staying up past midnight sometimes to finish the work. And when it comes to bedtime, really, that might not be the best thing. So incoming question? All right, so maybe you guys are wondering or asking yourself, what does it take to become a liberal college student, right? You're wondering, should I go to River High School? Why should I come to Liberal College High School? Do any of you guys know our school motto here? No? Well, 3 important lines. Be someone, go somewhere, seek excellence. If you want to become a liberal college student, that's what you need to look forward to. Becoming someone. You want to become someone greater than someone just working at McDonald's or dumpster guy, trucking, anything beyond that. You want to seek for not only becoming a better person for yourself, but to contribute to the community around you. When it comes to going somewhere, that really explains who you want to become. You're not going to stay in one place. You have to move up that ladder and seek excellence. In the end, you're going to make a lot of people proud, not only yourself, but also your parents and everyone else around you that you may impact.
Continue on to the flow of what students do here. All of our students work with one Delta College counselor. So our counselor meets with all students annually, and they do a student education plan. And in fact, if you are accepted to middle college, high school, she'll actually do a meeting with you probably somewhere in May, a one-on-one with parent and student, and map out your plan and tell you what courses to take and things like that. So that's an ongoing service that we have, and she's a phenomenal counselor. And she looks to the students' interests, what schools they may be thinking about, where they may be looking at, and kind of tailors a program. And in the first semester of the freshman year, a student's allowed to take one college course, a 3-unit transferable college course, and perhaps one guidance course. And we encourage the guidance course because it's a good initial start to a college career. It also helps with their date and time to register for college courses in preceding semesters. And the overarching goal of middle college, high school, because we are called middle college, high school, but we are indeed an early college. Nowadays, there's very little difference between the two terms. Is for every student to graduate with 30 to 60 college transferable units and or an AA degree along with their high school diploma in their 4 year. 80% of our students will indeed reach this goal. About 50% will graduate with an AA and a high school diploma. About 70% will go on to a 4 year. So, and Berkeley and Davis are pretty common schools for our kids to attend, along with UOP, because it is in our backyard. And they do accept all the transferable units, so that's a really good thing, even though they're private, but that's a real plus about that. And this is a goal. Like I said, not all of our kids make it, but that's okay too. You still have to have your goal. We want our kids to do the very best that they can do. And if that means they only get 20 units and they did their very best, well, no offense, they're still about well over a semester ahead of any other freshman going into college, almost a year ahead, even at 20 units. So, as I've already said, students enroll in Abbott all 4 years. And for the most part, within the high school program, we give kids most everything they need to get their high school diploma. The only thing currently we cannot give them is a fine art or foreign language. So our students do that here, and 99% do their foreign language here at Delta, and that's either Spanish or French. And a Delta foreign language course is a 5-unit course. So 1 semester of Delta foreign language is equal to 1.5 years of high school foreign language. So they can actually complete 3 years in 1 year. So it's pretty neat. Sign language available. That's a little bit different. That's a per unit course, but it's accepted at all the UCs and CSUs too, foreign language. The only thing that we're not able to give them that they need for their high school diploma has been in the past driver's education and health. Health they take care at the college or sometimes doing some online options, but that's in flux right now at Lodi, and right now it's in question whether or not that's going to continue to be a high school graduation requirement. It's still going to be suggested but not required. So that's a little up in the air. Driver's ed, they do have to do online, and those courses cost about $25 online. So that is kind of a home expense because we don't have a mechanism. However, there's word that they may be bringing back summer school, which could solve a lot of things, but we'll have to wait and see on that. This next one is kind of important, is that we do not offer advanced placement courses, often referred to as AP courses. So consequently, we do not have accelerated GPAs here. So where you'll see in the newspaper very soon that Lodi High, Valedictorian graduated with a 4.4 GPA, so-and-so graduated with a 4.3, that's because they've taken AP courses and they have accelerated GPAs. We do not do that here. The highest GPA that you can have is a 4.0. And our transcripts are a combination of high school courses and college courses. They all come together for the high school GPA. Now, some people want that accelerated GPA. They want their child to graduate with a 4.4. And there's nothing wrong with that. AP is an excellent program. It's just not us. We put our kids in actual college courses. The question is, why would we want to add the pressure of AP in high school on them also? I've already heard a little bit about homework here. So I'm going to tell you, if your child went to any of the comprehensive high schools in either Lincoln or Lodi or Stockton and took every AP course offered and passed the test, they're never ever going to come near 30 to 60 college transferable units. There's just not enough offering of those courses. So on the flip side, my kids don't have accelerated, but my kids go to Berkeley and are in upper division classes and oftentimes get their Berkeley bachelor's degree in 3 years. So that's something that as a family you have to decide if that's important to you or not. But that is nothing wrong with the AP. And by the way, schools report to the UC and CSU system whether they have weighted GPAs or unweighted GPAs. We report that we're unweighted. So the UC and CSU system kind of has a leveling board for that. So they understand that that's the highest you can get here. And by the way, they also only give you, I believe it's 8 bonus points for either AP or college courses. So even if you took X number of AP, you're not going to get all of those bonus points on your UC application. So this is sort of TMI for down the road, but it's a little relevant now because unfortunately you do have to kind of begin to prepare now for college. That's a reality. So, do you have any questions about the AP scenario? Could I cover that? No, absolutely nothing wrong with it. Right now, I will tell you, unfortunately, we spend approximately, in a really good year, $70,000 for college textbooks. This year is looking like $83,000 for college textbooks. We're fortunate that we have a grant from the California Community Colleges Chancellor's Office, a middle college high school grant. That pays for our first semester of college textbooks. And then when textbook prices several years ago, it's been doing this about 4 years, really started to soar. Also, our kids started getting more successful in taking more college courses. And the Chancellor's grant diminished by about $40,000 a year. We just didn't have the money anymore. It just wasn't there. So we got together, we did several parent meetings, student meetings about it, and we decided if we all hence that's how that works. It goes to San Joaquin Delta College, not Lodi. And we purchase our books here at the bookstore. And so far, I wish this could go away. I don't know that it is anytime soon. Or any of you have kids in college right now by any chance? Okay. There's something new that's becoming very popular, and it's called access codes. So students access part of either their textbook and or do all their homework via this access code. It's also kind of made used textbooks almost beginning to be a thing in the past. So I don't see costs going down anytime in the near future. We do have payment plans for this also. Okay? So, and we try to work with families that it's a real hardship on and the like, but it's kind of a reality for us to continue to operate. Let me say what I'm about to say right now is the most important thing of anything I say in this meeting. And that is if you choose and you're accepted to come to Middle College High School, you're placing your child on a community college campus. And they will be exposed to things they would never be exposed to at a regular comprehensive high school. I oftentimes use our art gallery as an example. We have a beautiful gallery here at Delta. I think it's kind of a diamond in the rough, or kind of not a diamond in the rough, just kind of a hidden gem. That's the word I want to use, a hidden gem. And it has some phenomenal exhibits from artists around the nation, literally. But there are also pieces of art there that you would never see at a comprehensive high school. There are things that happen in the quad, different organizations that come on that you would never have at a comprehensive high school. So your child's going to be exposed to things that they would not at Lodi High or Tokay High or Stagg High. But I'm going to tell you, it works for my students, it works for our staff, it works for my parents. It doesn't work for all families. This is where you have to be very honest with yourself. Does it fit my family values? Because if the answer is no, then this is not a good fit. The answer is yes, this is a very good school. Very good school. But I want to be brutally honest about that. No, knock on wood, we've been very safe here. Delta has a full police department. They're not like security, they are police officers. They carry a gun, they cuff, they arrest. And they're also here like this. There's escorts 24/7 here at Delta. You can always have an escort anywhere on campus at any time of day. They're there to do that. And Delta is very forthcoming with any issues that happens on campus. But statistically speaking, Delta is one of the safest places in Stockton. If you go to the mall, then you're putting your life out on the line. The mall has a huge crime problem. Delta is very, very honest and upfront about it. So I consider it a safe place. I've had no issues here. But as I said, this is something where you have to have a family meeting and decide if this fits your family values. We also have a policy that we implemented a few years ago. We constantly monitor our data to see how students are progressing both at the high school and at the college level. And so we have become a highly successful school. We do have a high API. I don't like to brag a lot, but we do. We're one of the highest in the county. Great KC results and things like that. But we also really believe in quality over quantity. So we implemented a policy that if a student's college GPA for one semester is below a 3.0 and or they have a withdrawal, then we only want them to take one class the following semester. And that's because that college transcript stays with them for life. It's never going away. High school, it goes away all the time. College is there forever. So my mantra is quality over quantity. Better to leave here with 45 transferables and a 3.9 than 5 AAs and a 3.0. That kid with 45 transferables and a 3.9 is going to have a lot of doors open to him. almost going to be able to pick any college they want to go to. The 3.0 and 5.88, a lot, don't get me wrong, but maybe not probably, maybe not USC, all right? So, and then some of our statistics, I've kind of I've actually already alluded to all of these. Yeah, 80% of our kids meet their 30 to above transferable units. 50% graduate with AAs, and to tell you the truth, most graduate with numerous AAs. I always, every year, have a handful of seniors that walk in the door the first day of school, and they already have finished their AA degrees. I just did a recommendation for one of our office TAs at the end of summer. So in August of 2013, she received 2 AA degrees. So as a senior, she's sitting there already with AAs. And it's sort of fun because they get to walk through the Delta graduation before they actually do the middle college, high school graduation. 70% will go on to 4 years, and Berkeley and Davis are kind of common. Last year was the first year we had one student go to Harvard. We had one accepted several years ago. He chose not to go. It's a special child, and we'll go across the nation too. Okay. So we have a couple of kids over at Stanford and some UCLA, and then San Diego State too, and UC San Diego, I should say. And as I said, we'll complete about 900 college classes in one academic year. When I say we, the 240 students. And statistically, 74% of those 900 classes will result in a letter grade of A or B. We're outperforming the general population of Delta. So our kids do very, very well here. And then applications are due Friday, April the 11th by 3 p.m. And it does not matter if you are the first person to turn in the app or the 150th person to turn in the app. They're all the same, so long as they're complete. And you have to attach the items that are spelled out on here, or it's considered an incomplete application. And we take no responsibility for anything that's faxed or anything like that to us. We'll have usually about 150 applications for about 65 openings. We interview the students, and it's not about trying to get the kid, trip them up. No, it's really about seeing if the kid is a fit for this school. I shouldn't say kid, I should say student. Because I will tell you the honest truth. If this has got to be a school where the student wants to come here. If the parent wants the child to come and the student does not, they will sabotage themselves. I've seen it happen. So oftentimes in the interview, I don't interview, it's a panel of a Delta staff member, middle college, high school staff member, a current parent, and a current senior student are the panel member. Their standard question. It's not hard. It's like a 10, 15-minute interview. But kids will literally look at them and go, I don't want to come here. My parents are making me be here. I don't even want to be here right now. That's not going to work. Okay? You have to listen to your child. All right? Because honestly, some students here 9 to 5 and they say, thank you, no. See ya. That's not going to work for me. And so the interviews will happen. And just to let the students know too, is that we don't have sports, and the time, because we end so late, it's really impossible to be part of a comprehensive school sport team. But we have school dances, we have proms, it's open to everybody, we have student government, they do kickbacks where they go to the park on like Saturdays, and things like that. We have a really active Key Club with over 100 members, about 50% of the school belongs to the Key Club. That's very service-oriented. We have a culture club where they'll do, they have about 60 students belong to the culture club, and they'll have like one meeting, they'll talk about culture, and then the next meeting they'll bring the food and things like that. We have a dance club and a sport club that meet every other Friday. The PE teacher does that. So we have those type of activities and things like that, and a full student government also. So it's not that you're not getting any of that social aspect, but we do have all of that, just not the sports that we do not have. So that is really the end of my straight rubric. So each application is evaluated by two staff members, usually a teacher, myself, or two teachers. And it's straight rubric and straight evaluation. And then you just stack them up by the score they receive. And then you do need to be, we really look for being on grade level in ELA, so proficient or above on your 7th grade STAR scores in ELA. Math, you just kind of work with that, it doesn't have to be. You do get extra points for being first in family to attend college and of ethnicity underserved in four-year institutions. And then we have an all-encompassing one that's sort of like special circumstances that would not allow you to live up to your full potential at a comprehensive high school. Anything else? Well, thank you so very, very much. I appreciate it. Good luck, everyone.